We're 1 week into the Comey show, and it only seems like a year. But what revelations. One, Comey's never seen Trump laugh. He told that to Stephanopoulos during their 5-hour chat. Hard to believe they left that part out of the special. And they kept this part. Comey drinks Pinot Noir out of a paper cup.
I drank red wine from a paper coffee cup and just looked out at the lights of the country I love so much as we flew home.
It was like the narration of Sex and the City. Now, we also learned that Comey thinks Trump is obsessed with him.
I'm like a breakup he can't get over. I'm out there living my best life. He wakes up in the morning and tweets at me.
Yes, he's living his best life, drinking Pinot Noir out of a paper cup, looking out the window, wondering why Trump won't laugh. You know, he's like the ex who keeps telling you how great things are since you left him while he sits in his underpants eating Chef Boyardee from a can. I don't know what that's like. Too bad Comey isn't winning anyone over.
I think it was to some extent, his arrogance that led him to make a very bad error of judgment.
He left the Republican Party. We did not leave him. He has left, and we're glad to see him go.
He criticized Hillary Clinton as being extremely careless, but then didn't bring an indictment or recommend an indictment. That's a violation. He should have been fired for that alone.
Republicans, Democrats, nobody considers Comey their homie, and he's all alone-y. Reminds me of a movie.
In 2016, there was a guy named James, and most of America got tired of his games. He was the Republican sensation when he put Hillary under investigation.
There is evidence that they were extremely careless in their handling of very sensitive, highly classified information.
Years later, when the nation felt divided as ever, he returned just to make everyone hate him together.
Felt like I was totally alone, that everybody hated me.
FBI Director James Comey has just been fired by Donald Trump.
It's the adventure of a disgraced FBI director whose tell-all book paints the president as a crook.
Is the Trump campaign in any way working directly with the Russians?
And that's just the beginning, because his story keeps the media grinning.
Thank you for timing this whole thing so that the memos came out right before you sat down.
I have no idea.
From the directors of Dumb and Stelter comes a new political charade starring James Comey, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and David Spade. Home Alone, this summer, the hate is on.
Yes. Mr. Florentine, what do you make of this man and his book tour and all the things he says?
First of all, can he do any more fluff interviews?
Yes.
Next week, we're going to see him dancing with Ellen. And he's way more obsessed with Trump. I mean, look what he wrote in his book.
Yes.
His skin was bright, slightly orange. His hair was bright blonde. When I reached for his hand, I looked at his hand. Mine was bigger than his. His was small, but not that small. It's like a gay romance novel.
It is. Not that I've read those, but you're right. You're right. Tyrus, has he worn out his welcome?
He never was welcome.
Yeah.
The sides, the Democratic Party are at each other so much. Even a guy they hate, if he will say something that they think will help him, they'll bring him in. But it's early. After he gets done doing the cooking shows and he does Sesame Street, by that time the Democrats will be sick of him.
Yeah.
And he'll literally get cussed out by Big Bird on TV. Like that's where he's headed. Like, you know, like him and Oscar the Grouch will be in the same trash can together. It's going to be.
That would be great. You know, Mark, I'm older than everybody here. I seem to remember like there would be people that would be on every talk show, like Dr. Ruth.
Right.
He's now like Dr. Ruth without the charm.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I'd forgotten that bit you mentioned, where the drinking Pinot Noir out of the paper cup. And the book is all like that. It's like this banal, third-rate, pathetic sludge.
Yes.
He's flying home in a private jet. Well, that's the first thing. The FBI director shouldn't have a private jet. He gets on the plane. He opens his suitcase. He says he's got a bottle of California Pinot Noir in his suitcase. Why would you do that when you're... Why would you fly a bottle of ordinary California Pinot Noir that's available in Washington for like $6? Why would you fly that all the way from California? And then he says, and I drank it out of a paper coffee cup. Okay, you're on a private you've got a private jet for you. It doesn't have any wine, so you have to pack the wine in a suitcase. And then you have like a used paper coffee cup from when you were in Starbucks earlier that morning. And I don't believe anything he said. Now, and I know, and this is what writing is. Like in normal life, I'll go, I ran into Greg and told him I'd just seen Tyrus. And if you're writing a book, this is an important tip if you want to make $1 million like Comey. You can't just say, hey, I ran into Greg and told him I'd seen Tyrus. You've got to go, I ran into Greg Gutfeld. An intriguingly contemptuous sneer teased his lips for a moment before curdling into a marginally less intriguingly contemptuous sneer. I told him I'd seen Tyrus, whose muscled forearms rippled in the California twilight. Tyrus's forearms, that is, not Greg's. And people think that's writing. And the whole Comey book is like that.
Yeah, no, it is. And also, Kat, he's always wrestling with his conscience, isn't he?
I don't think so. I think he's just really likes the spotlight being on him. And I think that sometimes when you're so desperate for attention, you can end up making a fool out of yourself.
Yes.
Like, he was real excited about this book, and now everyone hates him.
Yes.
And he's like, I kind of imagine him being like that drunk college kid who's like, all right, watch me, I'm going to jump into the pool from the roof. But then he trips and then stumbles and smashes his head on the side of the face. That's what James Comey is. But he did give us something that we desperately all need as a country, and that was something to unite around.
Right, that
and
is
now
true.
we can all unite around the fact that we don't like you.
Yes, it's true. I think, gotta go. Reality show idea. He pairs up with Stormy. It's a reality show on Bravo called The G-Man in the G-Spot. All right, we gotta move on. He's the politician of the future. He doesn't kiss babies or anything else. He's a robot.